Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Obas Trending Gist. Today, we are diving into the heated debate surrounding Nigeria's 2027 presidential election. A recent Arise News segment titled "Should Atiku Shelve Ambition and Support Peter Obi" features Tony Akeni of the Labour Party facing a barrage of tough questions from Rufai Oseni. This discussion unpacked the very core of political strategy, public perception, and the persistent call for unity versus open competition in Nigeria's political landscape. Let us watch the segment now, and then I will break down the arguments and offer my critical take. Sit back and take a watch.
Direction. Can you hear me because of time? Real quickly. See, with the way you're going...
Very well, very well.
At this rate that you are begging Jonathan, you're begging Atiku, at this rate, I'm sure maybe you probably beg Tinubu to step down for Peter Obi in 2027 because...
Not at all.
No, but because that's what you're saying invariably. I mean, a lot of people have asked, what is wrong with Peter Obi competing in an open campaign? So can't he go ahead and face Atiku in an open primary? Because that's what some of the people against him normally say. That, he wants everything to be done for him already and he just emerges. That he should go and campaign in an open campaign. And you said he has an impeachable record. People are saying that against him. They are saying a lot of things against him. In a state, for instance, they are saying, you didn't turn the state into paradise. Some of the opposition figures against him, they say, you didn't turn the state into paradise when you were there. They are also talking about money that was kept in safe havens, although Mr. Peter Obi has come to explain himself on that, but these things keep coming up. They are also talking about his support for, groups and not being able to condemn activities of insecurity in the Southeast. A lot of people are also saying things like, he didn't do as much as he claimed. He was also hypocritical in his time. So why is he being shielded? Why can't he be made to run in an open contest against Atiku Abubakar and the best man wins? Why are we begging everybody? That's why I say at this rate, maybe we'll probably beg Tinubu to also step down for him.
It is illogical to add Tinubu to the fray or to the table in this particular case, because what we have done is to identify Nigerians or leaders who have the compassion and the pulse of the people as a priority in their individual commitments.
So President Tinubu doesn't have the pulse of the people.
Respect that Tinubu,
and the compassion.
No, I don't. With all due respect, I don't believe he's one. So that is why he's not in the equation. Then, before now, don't forget, all the things that can be said, every rot that can be put by opposition against a quality candidate. It's not the first time. Awolowo struggled almost the last quarter of his life, or more than the last quarter of his life, trying to become the president of Nigeria. Nobody gave him a chance. But when the man lay still in death, even the Ikemba of Inewi, or Ikemba Inewi, said, here lies the best president Nigeria ever had. Even Jesus Christ, there was an option to choose between the rogue, the thieves in Jerusalem, and the Savior. They chose the thieves to be freed and the Savior to be crucified.
All right.
So we don't expect that Peter Obi will stand up for election and there will be no mudslinging or digging up of all kinds of materials to malign him. Okay. But like you said it yourself, Mr. Rufai, that he has come and explained it. And I'm sure you were satisfied when Mr. Obi explained that.
Prince Akeni.
Welcome back. That was quite a spirited exchange, highlighting the deep divisions and strategic considerations currently at play in Nigerian politics. Let us unpack some of the key points raised. Rufai Oseni, with his characteristic directness, really pressed Tony Akeni on why Peter Obi shouldn't face Atiku Abubakar in an open primary. His central argument seems to be that demanding the presidential tickets on a platter without direct competition undermines democratic principles. He raised several specific criticisms against Peter Obi's past governance in Anambra State, including accusation of not transforming the state into a paradise, issuing around money kept in safe havens, though Rufai acknowledged Obi's explanations, and alleged inability to condemn insecurity in the Southeast. These are significant points that often surface in political discourse aimed at scrutinizing a candidate's record and suitability. Tony Akeni, representing the Labour Party, largely deflected the direct challenge for open primaries between Obi and Atiku. Instead, he framed the issue as identifying leaders with compassion and the pulse of the people, explicitly stating that President Tinubu, with all due respect, doesn't fit this criterion. thereby removing him from their equation. Akeni then draw historical parallel, mentioning Awolowo's struggle for the presidency and even referencing Jesus Christ, to argue that quality candidates often face intense mudslining and opposition. His point was that these criticisms against Obi are not new tactics and that Obi has already addressed some of them. He emphasized that the focus should be on a redirection of Nigeria, suggesting a unity of purpose rather than internal party squabbles over candidacies. Now, for my critical take, the conversation clearly shows a fundamental difference in approach. Rufai Oseni champions the idea of robust, open competition, where candidates prove their mettle through primaries and direct campaigns. These perspectives align with democratic ideals of meritocracy and accountability. His specific criticism of Peter Obi, whether entirely accurate or partially exaggerated for political effects, are designed to hold candidates to a high standard, forcing them to defend their past actions and clarify their positions. The question of Obi not turning Anambra into a paradise or issue with safe haven speaks to the public desire for tangible results and transparency from their leaders. On one hand, Tony Akeni's arguments lean heavily into the narrative of a broader movement for national salvation, where individual ambitions might need to be subsumed for a collective good. His dismissal of President Tinubu from the equation based on lacking the pulse of the people is a clear political statement, framing the Labour Party as the true representative of the popular sentiment. However, his historical analogies, while perhaps intended to demonstrate resilience against opposition, could be seen as a way to sidestep direct answers to Rufai's pointed questions about Obi's perceived avoidance of open primaries. The argument that every rot will be thrown at a quality candidate might be true in politics, but it doesn't necessarily negate the need for a candidate to directly address this concern and demonstrate their willingness to compete fairly. The idea of Nigeria being one party with a shared understanding, as Akeni mentioned, sounds aspirational but clashes with the reality of multi-party democracy and diverse political interests. Ultimately, the debate boils down to whether Nigeria's political future hinges on fierce internal competition to produce the strongest candidate or on strategic alliances and a shared vision that prioritizes certain personalities. Both perspectives have their merits and drawbacks, and the public will undoubtedly be weighing these considerations as 2027 approaches. That's all for now on Oba's Trending Gist. What do you think? Should Atiku and Obi face off in open primaries, or is it a strategic alliance? The best path forward for Nigeria? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful discussion. See you next time.